Hello students, myself Professor Ankul. I welcome everyone for the GATE theory session on analog circuits. Today we are going to discuss an important topic, multi-stage amplifier. So let's start multi-stage amplifier. So we are starting with the introduction for multi-stage amplifier. So what do you actually mean by multi-stage? If you observe the lower diagram carefully, the single stage amplifier will be defined by a box with an input Vi and output Vo. So it will have a voltage gain or current gain or any system gain that can be defined. So suppose if I consider that there is a voltage gain defined by A. So now what will happen in multi-stage? The term itself specifies that there are going to be multiple stages of amplifier connected back to back. So what happens here? The output of the first amplifier is actually coupled as an input for the next stage. So obviously when the coupling is happening, it is going to happen with respect to a coupling device. Now, whenever we talk about a coupler, we normally have RC coupled amplifiers, transformer coupled amplifiers, or direct coupled amplifiers. These three types of coupling are actually supported. So the coupling effect can be happening with respect to a direct link, or a capacitor in between the two stages, or a transformer between the two stages. Whenever amplifiers are connected back to back such that output of the first network will work like an input for the second, and so on, such an arrangement is basically called as cascading of amplifiers. So that's the reason multi-stage amplifier are normally defined as cascade amplifiers. Now, why do we go for multi-staging? So this is basically used to boost a weak signal. Now, why we have to go for boosting effect with respect to multiple stages? Because whenever we go for step-by-step upscaling of the signal with the help of amplification, the system will remain stable. And due to this, we will be able to minimize the impact of distortion. So that is the biggest advantage of multi-stage. So if you can see the lower figure carefully, you can see a voltage source defined by Vin, and there are n stages of amplifier where individual gain will be defined as A1, A2, an, and the final output of the circuitry will be defined as Vo. When we try to compare the BJT amplifier with the MOSFET amplifiers, the ideal requirement of the parameters for voltage amplifier is input resistance should be infinite, output resistance should be zero, gain should be infinite, and the higher cutoff of the amplifier should be infinite. So the higher cutoff actually implies the bandwidth, because by definition, bandwidth is defined as FH minus FL. So automatically, when the FH goes to infinity, even the bandwidth will approach the infinite value. So when we are talking about interest in the BJT and the MOSFET, the most common amplifiers that we use is basically common emitter amplifier and common source amplifier. So whenever we talk about the common emitter amplifier, they have an important feature of input resistance being moderate, output resistance being on the higher side, the gain of the amplifier is high, but the bandwidth is restricted. But whenever we talk about the MOS under common source category, even they are having similar feature. The input resistance is very, very high. This is all because of the feature of the MOSFET. The output resistance is on the higher side. The gain is on the moderate or on the lower side, and the bandwidth is less. So now, when we try to compare this feature with the other categories of amplifier, we can definitely find that each and every property of amplifier is having one of the other unique features. So if you observe the common collector or the common drain amplifier, they are having the voltage gain as unity. The biggest advantage of such networks is they are going to have a very high input resistance. So they are normally used as buffer circuits. Common base amplifiers, if you observe, they are having a high bandwidth as well as high gain. And a similar feature can be observed in common gate. So overall, if you observe every possible amplifier that we are actually trying to realize, they are having one or the other positive feature. So when you try to make a cascading logic, either we are going to use all the amplifiers of same stages, or we are going to mix the logics of BJT and MOSFET so that we can mix the features and we can create a very good amplifier cascading circuit, so that we can accommodate as many positive features for the network as much as we can for giving better performance for the multi-stage network. So that's the reason we are considering BJT, MOSFET or FET amplifiers depending on the requirement in multi-stage networks. So what advantage do we get from multi-staging? The biggest advantage that we have here in the multi-staging is the rise in the voltage gain. Whenever we talk about the gain of a multi-stage network, it will always be an added advantage that we are operating with higher gain. Now, since the networks are actually picked up with respect to their added advantages, we can pick up any category of amplifier. There is no compulsory condition that whenever we go for cascading of amplifiers, all the amplifier circuits have to be same. We can use an amplifier as per the feature, and that's the reason multi-staging can definitely boost the input impedance of the network and reduce the output impedance of the network, which is one of the basic requirement of amplifier circuits when we go for practical realization of electronic circuits. The coupling effect can be obtained with respect to the direct coupling, transformer coupling and RC coupling. So if you observe, there are three representations. The first figure corresponds to the direct coupled amplifier, where output of the first amplifier is directly connected as an input to the second amplifier, and so on. When we talk about RC coupled amplifier, in the RC coupled amplifier, we are using a RC network for coupling effect. And when we talk about transformer coupling, we have transformers between the two stages. So this is how we can actually develop direct coupled, RC coupled and transformer coupled amplifier. So now whenever these amplifier stages are connected back to back, this connection is basically called as a cascade arrangement. When we try to compare the RC coupled, transformer coupled and direct coupled amplifiers with respect to the frequency responses, we can see easily that the frequency response of direct coupled amplifier is going to have a dip at the higher frequencies, whereas the frequency response of RC coupled and transformer coupled amplifier is showing an impact of rise, a constant behavior and a fall behavior. That too, when you see the coupling effect, we can easily see that RC coupled frequency response will be better compared to the transformer coupled. Obviously, direct coupled amplifiers gives the best response because there is no loss of output at the lower frequency. The lower frequency also has higher gain. But as per our requirement and the bandwidth, we normally prefer RC coupled amplifiers for practical applications. So voltage amplifiers are normally realized using RC coupled amplifiers. Power amplifier circuits are realized using transformer coupled circuits or transformer coupling amplifiers. And whenever we want to process very low frequencies, we prefer direct coupled amplifier. So every type of coupling will have its own impact and its own application. Now, whenever we talk about multi-staging, every amplifier has its own frequency response. Implies it is having its own midband gain, the lower cutoff and the higher cutoff. But when we connect that amplifier in terms of cascade amplifiers, so if multiple stages of amplifier are connected back to back, assuming that there are n stages connected, so in that case, the lower cutoff and the higher cutoff of the network will definitely get modified. The relation that I'm trying to represent here in the form of the lower cutoff and the higher cutoff of the multi-stage network, it is under a standard assumption that all the amplifiers connected back to back or in cascade are actually uniform, or you can say same or identical. Implies they all are having same basic features like mid-band gain, lower cutoff and higher cutoff. So they are actually a true copy of each other, and that's the reason every amplifier stage will be identical. Under this situation, if every amplifier stage is having a lower cutoff of FL and there are n stages of amplifier connected in cascade, in that case, the lower cutoff of the entire network, which will be defined as FLT, can be represented as FL by under root of 2 raised to 1 by n minus 1. So this is the final lower cutoff of the cascaded circuitry. But when we talk about the upper critical frequency or the upper cutoff frequency, the upper cutoff frequency will be defined as FHT is equal to FH into under root of 2 raised to 1 by n minus 1. So when we talk about such a behavior, you will get the bandwidth of the multi-stage network as FHT minus FLT. But now we need to understand an important thing, that whenever we talk about such a behavior where we go for multi-staging, you get a rise in the gain. So multi-stages normally support rise in gain. So eventually it will be having a reduction on the bandwidth end. So with this, we can understand one important point, that multi-stage amplifiers are normally realized such that they will provide higher gain and they will provide less or moderate bandwidth. Now let's take an example. So there is a question. The question says a three-stage amplifier has the first stage voltage gain of 100, second stage voltage gain of 200, and third stage voltage gain of 400. What is the total voltage gain in decibel? So now when we talk about the first stage voltage gain, it is 100. When we convert that value in decibel, we take 20 log of the gain value. So the first stage voltage gain will be 20 log to the base 10, 100. You will get the value as 40 dB. The second stage of the voltage gain in decibel will give me 20 log to the base 10 of 200. It will come around 46 dB. And the third stage of the voltage gain will be 20 log of 400, which will be 52. So when you add all of them, you will get it as 138 decibel. You can also go for another methodology where the total voltage gain of the amplifier will be the product of the three gain, and then you take the 20 log of that final number. Eventually you will land up at the same value, that is 138 decibel. Let's take one more question. The question is, a multi-stage amplifier employs 5 stages of which each of has a power gain. What is the total gain of the amplifier in dB? If a negative feedback of 10 dB is employed, find the resultant gain. So now what we need to understand here is, suppose we consider the absolute gain of each stage is being 30. So here it is mentioned that the absolute gain of each stage is 30. The number of stages is 5. So now when you talk about the total power gain, the total power gain of one stage will be 10 log to the base 10 of 30. So it will be 14.77. So we are adding 14.77 5 times is as good as multiplying the value by 5. You will get 73.85 dB. So this is the total power gain of the multi-stage network, where each gain was having a gain of each circuitry was having a gain of 30. Now the most important point we need to understand here is, if you see the top equation and the bottom equation, or the top sum and the bottom sum, the top sum was having a voltage gain and the second sum is being having a power gain. Whenever we convert a value into a decibel value, if it is the voltage gain, we take the function as 20 log, and if it's a power gain, we take the function as 10 log. This is a very, very important point to remember, because during calculation we need to figure out whether the gain mentioned in the question is corresponding to the power gain or the voltage gain. I repeat, whenever it is voltage gain, we take the function in decibel as 20 log of the gain value, and whenever it is power gain, we take the function as 10 log of the gain value. Now if there is an impact of negative feedback, so the negative feedback is going to reduce the gain value. So that's the reason, after the impact of negative feedback, which is going to reduce the gain by 10 dB, the final gain will be 63.85 dB. So this is the way we can calculate the gain of the multi-stage network. And I repeat an important point, whenever we talk about multi-staging, where the gain of the amplifier is expressed in the form of AV. So when you convert into decibel, you take 20 log. If the gain is expressed as power gain, you take it as 10 log. Now here we are actually trying to consider a two-stage network with the internal parameters. So suppose if you see the diagram carefully, the stage 1 internal diagram is showing you an input resistance defined as R in 1 and the output section defined as A1 into V in 1, where A1 is the voltage gain of the first stage and V in 1 is the input. And since it's a voltage source, it will have a resistance R out 1 in series with the voltage source. So now stage 1 is connected to stage 2 because that's the rule for cascading. So in the impact of cascading, the output of the first network will be given as an input for the other network. So that's the reason the output point of the first circuitry is connected to the input point of the second circuitry. So if you observe carefully, at the node point V into, we are having an internal resistance of the second stage defined as R into. The voltage source for the output section is defined as A2 V into, where A2 is the gain of the second amplifier and V into is the input. R out 2 is in series with the voltage source, and RL is where you are taking the final output. So now if I talk about the impact or loss contributions, so automatically I can define the parameter V into as A1 into V in 1 into R into divided by R into plus R out 1. So this is going to be the value of input voltage for the second amplifier. So when I talk about the output voltage, then you can take V out is equal to A2 into V into. So A2 into V into is going to be the voltage source into RL divided by RL plus R out 2. That is going to be the value of V out. So if you observe, the equations are derived from the basic concepts of voltage divider. And now we are interested in the overall gain, that is going to be V out by V in 1. So on solving, you will get the value as A1 into A2 into R in 2 by R in 2 plus R out 1 into a factor RL by RL plus R out 2. So this is how you calculate the voltage gain of the two-stage amplifier circuitry. So whenever the internal resistances are given with respect to the input resistance and output resistance, we cannot directly take the product of the gain to get the final gain of the circuitry. They will have some impact or contributors which is going to come from the ratio of resistances. Now here we are actually trying to discuss few types of arrangements. So the first arrangement is corresponding to direct coupled common emitter stages. So if you observe carefully, there are two stages. Now there are four diagrams in all, and I am discussing the topmost diagram on the left hand side. If you can observe carefully, the input is given to the base of the first transistor and the output is taken from the collector of the first transistor. Whatever output you get from the collector of the first transistor, it is getting coupled to the base of the second transistor, and the final output is being taken from the collector of the second transistor. So overall, if you observe carefully, both RE1 and RE2 are actually unbypassed, and under unbypassed logic, you get lower gains. With the capacitor, the gain is high, and without the capacitor, the gain is low. But whatever it may be, they are working like amplifiers. But if you observe, every common emitter amplifier is an inverting amplifier. So under the effect of inversion, because there is a two-stage network connected between the output point and the input point, you will find that the output and the input will come in phase. Now, if I go for the lower circuitry on the left hand side, it is a combination of common emitter with common collector. So if you observe the transistor Q1, the input is given to the base of the first transistor and the output is taken from the collector of the first transistor. And for the second transistor, you can see the input is given to the base of the second transistor, but the output is taken from the emitter of the second transistor. So that's the reason, if you observe, you can see clearly that whenever we talk about the input given in the form of perfect sine wave, you are getting an impact of inversion. So this is all because common emitters are inverting amplifier and common collector are unity gain amplifier. So common collector normally doesn't give any phase shift to a signal. So whatever is the phase shift produced by the output of the common emitter amplifier, the same phase shift will be provided at the output side. And that is the reason the overall effect is an effect of 180-degree phase shift. Now let's go for the next one. Now this is again coupling of multi-stages with the help of coupling capacitors. You can see C1, C2 and C3 in between. So when you talk about such arrangement, you can easily see carefully that the output of the first stage is being passed to the input of the second stage with the help of capacitor coupling. The last diagram on the right hand side, lower circuitry, is basically complementary cascade arrangement. The concept of complementary is coming into picture. It is all because both the transistors, one of them is NPN, another one is PNP, so they are as good as complementary transistors of each other. The fundamental arrangement is again still the similar, but if you observe carefully, for the first transistor, the input is given to the base and the output is taken from collector. And for the second transistor, the input is given to the base and the output is taken from collector again. So again, if you observe, they are as good as a cascade network. It is just that one of the transistor is NPN and the other one is PNP. Hence the name came into picture as complementary cascade amplifier. So overall, if you observe, we have discussed all the four types of amplifier connections. There are many more types of connections with multiple stages involved, which also use mixtures of BJT circuits, a mixture of BJT MOSFET, and so on. So many other combinations are also possible. Now, this is corresponding to a two-stage RC coupled amplifier, where you can see carefully, we can observe the two stages R1, R2, RC, RE for the first transistor, and across the RE we are having the bypass capacitor, and the output of the first transistor is connected to the input of the second transistor with the help of a coupling capacitor. And the second stage is also a copy effect of the first stage. So they are as good as two stages which are having the same component features. So again we are having R1, R2, RC, RE with RE bypass, and the second transistor is Q2. So we are trying to keep both the transistors also under matched pair logic. So if you observe the overall network is having three coupling capacitors and two bypass capacitors. And if you observe the input path, the input which was given to the base of the first transistor was inverted at the output point of the first. That inverted output was given as an input for the second transistor, which was again inverted and amplified definitely. So you're going to get in phase output. So whenever we consider two common emitter amplifiers cascaded together, we get in phase result with respect to the input. So now when we are going for the AC equivalent, the AC equivalent concept is a concept where we are trying to replace the device by its model. So all of us are aware regarding the hybrid pi arrangement. Between the base and the emitter we are having R pi, and the voltage across it is V pi. Between collector and emitter we have a current source GM-V pi. So now since there are two transistors, both the transistor will get replaced by their equivalent model. So between base and emitter we have R pi 1 and the drop across it is V pi 1. Between collector and emitter we are having GM1 V pi 1. And similarly for the second transistor, between the base and the emitter we are having R pi 2 and V pi 2. And between collector and emitter we are having GM2 V pi 2. At the input side, R1 and R2 will come in parallel and will form a resistance RB1 between the base and the emitter, that is the ground point. At the output side of the first transistor, from collector, it will be RC1 to ground. And for the second circuitry or the second stage, you will have between base and ground RB2, which will be R3 parallel R4. And in the output end, between the collector and the ground, we will have the impact of RC2, where we are measuring the value of VO. Here we are assuming that the output side internal resistance of common emitter, that is going to be small RO, it will be considered as infinity. So when I talk about a total voltage gain AVT, it will be actually AV1 into AV2. The input impedance of this multi-stage network will be ZI, it will be RB1, and the output impedance of the multi-stage network will be ZO, and it will be RC2. So now the VO will be defined as minus of GM2 V pi 2 into RC2, and the gain of the second stage is going to be VO by V pi 2. So we will land up at minus of GM2 RC2. So now when you talk about the gain of the first amplifier, it will be V pi 2 by Vi. So the V pi 2 will be defined as the current source, which is GM1 V pi 1 into the load for it, which will be RC1 parallel RB2 parallel R pi 2, and minus sign because of the way in which the current is flowing. V pi 1 is as good as your Vi. So when I get A1, which is the gain of the first amplifier, it will be having the value minus of GM1 into a factor RC1 parallel RB2 parallel R pi 2. So when I see the overall gain, which is going to be A1 into A2, you will get the value as GM1, GM2, RC2 into RC1 parallel RB2 parallel R by 2. And if your observation is very sharp, both the stages of the amplifier are having a minus sign in the gain equation, implies every stage is basically an inverting stage. But when we talk about the product, since it is a multi-stage network where two common emitter amplifiers are cascaded, the overall voltage gain comes out to be positive, implies the output will be in phase with respect to the input.